Hello and welcome to another episode of the REDstreams. My name is Amelia Kowat and I'm a Senior Community Manager at CD Projekt Red. And today we'll be talking about upcoming patch 2.2.
Yep.
So you probably guessed it already that, we will be talking about the patch. But before we dive right into it, let me introduce our very cool guest. So as always, with me is Alicja Kozera.
Happy to be here again.
One and only, everyone knows the guy, Paweł Sasko.
It's a pleasure to be here. As always, my dears, it's been a long time.
Very long time. We need to fix that soon. And someone you didn't meet yet, but now is the chance, is Pauline de Bro, our lead producer from Virtuos.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Always our pleasure.
So, our topic today is Update 2.2, which will be coming soon, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. And this specific update has been developed together with Virtuos. So, who is Virtuos, Pauline?
Virtuos, so we are a company that was founded in 2004. We're one of the biggest developers in the world, and our mission is to help and support other studios, like yours, for example, to create their video games. We do quests, we do DLCs, levels, art assets, and we have a lot of multicultural teams that have been very lucky to work with, for example, Ubisoft, Activision, and today I'm working in the Paris studio. We have 3 studios in France with more than 300 talents, and I'm very happy to be here and to have worked with CDPR on this one.
Exactly, and it was a big pleasure for me to collaborate with the Virtuos on this update for you, my dears.
Okay, so during the stream today, we will go through the biggest changes, biggest feature of the patch. But as usual, we cannot talk about everything. Patch notes will land on the website later, so you will be able to go through everything in detail. And before we go, we are not live, unfortunately, with you. There have been, some scheduling issues this time. But we will be in the chat, so if you have any additional questions, let us know.
I will in the chat.
Yes, you will be for sure.
I am probably right now typing something, doing myself.
Okay, but before we dive into the whole, meat and details about all the features you guys worked on and prepared for the community, what was the thought behind the update 2.2?
Yeah, so I realized when working on the previous patches for Cyberpunk 2077 that it always worked well for our players when there was a consistent, cohesive thought behind a patch. When we shipped 1.6, which was the Edgerunners update, all of our players just loved that fact that, there was some Edgerunners content, and they sort of knew and felt, okay, what was the intent, behind it. When we shipped 2.1, which was the Ultimate Edition, it was a similar situation. Players knew that, okay, we are adding features to really make the game feel like an ultimate version of Cyberpunk, some things that you wanted to have, like a metro system. So with the patch 2.2, we were looking together with Gabe Amatengel, our game director, for an inspiration idea, what actually update for Cyberpunk we want to do. And pretty early we had this idea of we would love to give our players a way to express themselves more in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. And this is that's why it's called Express Yourself. And when we will walk you through that patch, you will see that a lot of the things that we have added actually comes down to this one thought, an idea that you yourself as a player, as V, you can build your own character and really express yourself the way you look, the cars you drive, the place you have, and all kinds of things. I won't be spoiling what we will talk about, but you will see that it all has this one thought behind it, and I hope you enjoy it.
I mean, it's a very cohesive theme with Cyberpunk genre in general.
Yeah, exactly. In Cyberpunk, you have a lot of those, taglines, about the substance, about the look,
yes.
style over substance, obviously. So we actually worked together with the Virtuos team on various updates, upgrades, and we're gonna talk about them.
Yes. I mean, we're gonna start with something that our players already know a little bit. So Crystal Code, we've already introduced it to a couple of cars in Cyberpunk 2077, but we're expanding.
Absolutely. So it was only available for Refill cars, and now it partnered up with one of the 4 of the biggest brands of cars, and we redid the UI. The interface is we added some features in it. So yeah, we can't wait for the players to try it.
So we're gonna be able to change colors of much more cars than we used to.
The one from Herrera, Quadra, Mizutani, and Vilfort. Yeah.
Awesome! Wow.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So like pretty much all the sport brands and
Yeah.
luxury brands now fully supported. You know, the Virtuos team actually did a great job with really upgrading the whole feature in a way, because like we put a lot of effort into the UI, into various options. There's actually loads of different small upgrades that you can find there, so that you can really like the best car that you have, that you like driving around. Now you can also have them in almost any color you want. And I think like what's interesting on top of that is that we have also added an option to change like a saturation and hue of that color. So it's not only the color, but now you can also just make it more intense. You know, if you wanted your pink to be tiny bit lighter, you can do it now.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can really express yourself with that.
But like, you know, obviously some players know how it works, but some might not. How exactly does it work? What you have to do to change the color of your car?
So you open the menu, and then you can just choose. There is a wheel, and you can choose one first color and another one, and then you have sliders on the side, and you just like play with it. You can change the color of the lights also, and then you have a new car. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty much it.
Brand new.
And on the side of the lore, the way we wanted to do it is that Rayfield developed that technology called the Crystal Code, and that we introduced in patch 2.12. And what we wanted to do here is now in our lore, Rayfield partnered with a couple new brands, basically. So this time you can see the Crystal Code actually executed a tiny bit differently on those cars. And that's, of course, you know, the intent. That's because we really want to make sure that all the features that we are adding into our game, they contribute to the lore and to the world, you know, that it all feels consistent.
Okay. Wow, that makes a lot of sense, but I'm sad that my still cannot be pink.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Okay, so apart from Crystal Code, there is obviously something else we can do with a car. What is that? What's the twin tone option?
Well, the twin tone option is the possibility to scan any car in Night City, and you can have some unique patterns or also generic colors, and then add it to your own car. So you can go to 10 generic paint jobs, 5 unique. What is important to specify is that if you scan a Vilfort car, it will be a unique paint job for Vilfort car. It will be applicable for your Vilfort, and yeah, that's a new scanning option. You can
Exactly. And so the twin tone, this is a new feature, a database of basically paint jobs that was introduced this time by Kiroshi. So it's a new technology by Kiroshi. And imagine that when you're driving to the Night City, you can see a great car, you know, passing by. Maybe it's like, you know, a golden, a Quadra VTEC that you really love. You can look at it, and basically now in a new tab, you'll see in the twin tone an option to basically save that in your database, exactly as Pauline was just explaining. And then from there, you can actually apply it to your cars. And I really love it because like that twin tone is actually basically a database. So outside of just scanning, you can also store it there. You can save it, right? You can remove those you don't like. So there's also this aspect of collecting various paint jobs. And me personally, like when I was reviewing the feature together with the team, when I was driving around the Night City, I really love this feeling of just going somewhere, looking for the cars, exploring, and then I found something that I really liked. I scanned it, it was added there. So it adds this like layer of exploration, but also collecting, making sure that I have the palette of the colors that I really like. And one of the cool things actually that the Virtuos team did is option to swap the colors. So let's say you found out that this hue of green with this hue of blue works really well for your car, and you saved it. You can now just really quickly swap the colors and basically replace the parts of the car, how they are painted, and to see how it looks in reverse. So it's pretty cool.
I think this also lowers the crime rates in Night City, so you don't have to steal cars, you just, borrow their paint jobs.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, but so it's cool to express yourself again. How about, does it have any gameplay implications?
Yeah, absolutely. If you change the color where you are chased by the police, you can disappear into Night City, so that's pretty cool.
Ah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you will see that the profile mismatch has been pointed out by NCPD, and you will see that they were looking for I don't know, a red Herrera before, and then now suddenly you are in a golden one.
Yeah.
Therefore, they still look for you. So if you will be like close to any of the police officers and so on, they'll still register you. However, if you stay away, and you have a couple of levels of heat, eventually it actually fades out. So it's a pretty cool way to get away.
Yeah, like you go into one alley from one way, you change your color in the alley, and it's completely different car.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does it work when you're driving a stolen car? So, for example, if I just stole someone's car and I want to apply like a new paint job to it, will it work?
The Twin Tone, and the Twin Tone specifically is a database that's attached to you as a player. So those, the whole Crystal Code and Twin Tone, this is dedicated for player cars.
So my own cars.
Correct.
Not stolen.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that makes sense,
Of course.
You have access to your cars.
But speaking about stolen cars, do we have something for our players to not steal cars anymore in Night City? To lower the crime a bit?
To lower the crime a bit. Well, I mean, as a developers, we of course look a lot into the player feedback, and we saw there was constantly people were asking about a couple different cars that you can actually find in the city, but you couldn't own and you couldn't buy. And this is what the Virtuos team did. We have upgraded the auto fixer right now. So we are adding 10 new cars to the auto fixer website that you can own. 8 of them belong to the base game. 2 of them belong to the Phantom Liberty, so you have to own the Phantom Liberty to have it. And some of them are really highly requested cars, like probably my most favorite, Shion Targa, but there's a couple other that I know you will love.
Nice. And they will also feature Crystal Code and Twin Tone, right?
Yes, actually, that's a very good point. So if you go to the AutoFixer website and you look there, normally before you could see that the car is armed with either Gatling guns or rockets. Now you will also see the icon of a Crystal Code. So that icon shows you that that car actually supports fully Crystal Code and Twin Tone, so that's how you recognize it. And if you go as a player to your vehicle summoning menu and you go through the cars there, you could see maybe there are like small icons showing you the weapons there. Now you also have the Crystal Code marked there as well. So you know when you're summoning a car, if you're summoning the one that uses the feature or not. And the thought behind it is that we wanted to give more depth to our vehicles and to do it in a way that various cars have various capabilities. Some of them are armed, some of them change colors, some of them have rockets. So it's pretty cool because you can kind of like craft it for yourself and really express yourself.
That's awesome. Okay, speaking of cars, we love collecting cars in Night City, in Cyberpunk, but we know that also Johnny was a very big fan of cars with his iconic Porsche 911. So how about Johnny? He cannot drive the cars right now.
Johnny cannot drive the car, but he can spawn next to you. So that is pretty cool. Like there are some conditions, but when he spawns, he reacts. So if you stare at him too long, he has some reactions. When you go through a wall, he can have some reactions too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. He can spawn in the front, in the back. So yeah, you have like a buddy next to you when you drive now.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Like it's finally a road trip with Johnny.
Always with Johnny, like, catch a break.
And the intention of this is to just like increase the presence of Johnny as you are going through the story. At the moment when, of course, you are at the point of the story when he's already unlocked and you know that he's somewhere there, it increases a lot the feeling of his presence. Because this is what our story is about, right? It's about having this dead rocker boy in your brain in a way. So it makes so much sense that when you are like, for instance, cruising through Night City, he will actually show up there. And some of his comments are actually pretty comedic, especially when he drops them in the right moments. So it's actually really fun. And what I really love doing is taking pictures with him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when he shows up and you can snap a good pic, with Johnny in the car.
Is there any moment when Johnny will not spawn?
Oh, yeah. When there is combat or when there is a passenger next to you, because Johnny cannot be at the same place as another NPC. So, and other conditions like that. But basically, he would spawn 25% of the time, something like that.
Okay, so it's not like 100% that we're gonna
No,
have
there's actually a pretty complex, I would say, structure that really checks when he can spawn or not. That being said, as you are exploring the world, you will see him quite a bit.
Okay.
Like you it won't be always, because when it's always, it may feel maybe a bit too fake. So we wanted to make it feel as authentic and natural as possible. He won't be present during like main story quests, because in most cases he has a purpose in those quests. He's doing certain things,
Of course,
appearing in the scenes and so on. So when we added it, we wanted to make sure it fits to the game as well as it only can.
Okay, I cannot wait to do like stupid shit with my car, like crashing, going over people and check like Johnny's reaction.
Yeah, he's gonna insult you, things like that. No, I'm joking.
You mentioned you will be able to take a good picture with Johnny. So does it mean you will be able to use photo mode while Johnny is next to you as well?
Absolutely, yeah. You can use the photo mode, and that can be a pretty cool shot. Also with the Cheyenne Targa, I believe, because there is an open roof. So yeah, you can get a nice shot.
Taking Johnny on a ride.
Yeah, but speaking of photo mode, Amelia, this is one of our favorite topics, definitely.
Yes, so for a very long time, we were watching you guys doing amazing shots in our photo mode. We gathered feedback from our virtual photography community, and we managed to convince those two to actually include some of your stuff that you really wanted in the patch. So let's start with what's coming to photo mode. So maybe camera.
Yeah.
The biggest.
Yeah, camera. Camera was one of those biggest and probably most often requested features, as our virtual photographers, our players, felt limited by the way how camera acted.
Yeah.
So our Virtuos team did actually loads of work to make sure that we improved that quite a bit. And probably the most important thing is that right now the camera has this drone mode, so we can like fly around much further. The distance is bigger and has bigger range, but also just more capabilities of taking shots. So as a player, I can finally, take shots that I really wanted to. But yes, there's more actually coming and connected with that.
I mean, one thing that I'm super excited about is the lack of collisions for camera right now.
Yes, absolutely. So that was actually something that, as Amelia pointed out, a lot of you mentioned that you wanted to make a cool shot, let's say looking through the blinds in a window, that someone's behind it, and like Takemura, and you wanted to make a shot on Takemura, but it couldn't really right now, because you can disable the collisions. You can actually approach the wall with the camera kind of close and make those pictures pretty nicely. So it really helps a lot with getting the shots you really want.
Oh, I'm thinking about this one scene at the beginning of Phantom Liberty with the blinds, with Reed. I mean, I spent like an hour there taking shots, but with the new camera, it's gonna be even better.
But also, apart from collision, we also have the new aspect ratios that we actually added, like in the form of the.
So it's just gonna
photo mode.
Cropping, right?
Yeah, it's like the actual cropping, right?
Yeah.
So I can do like 6 very ultra wide or like super horizontal pictures, correct?
Yeah, you can take several format and yeah, so.
And it's sadly this feature is PC only.
For the aspect ratio, yeah.
Yes, it's PC only. This is a technical limitation. That's why this is how it works. With Virtuos team, we took a look into like most popular aspect ratios that our players were using for various photos, also for various social media, because you post your photos everywhere, which we really love seeing. So we wanted to provide you with an option, how to do it in a more effortless way, so you don't really have to go to Photoshop or any other program to cut it or crop it or do any other thing. Right now, it almost goes from photo mode in a form that is pretty much something that you can update and publish.
Ready to publish.
Exactly, ready to publish.
Okay, so
one more thing that is also something I'm super excited about is the lighting. I know there were some hacks with Cyberpunk where you could use like a muzzle light to add light to your shot, but we made it easier for our community now.
Yeah, we have 3 new lights with 2 different types. One that is very ambient and one that is way more precise. Spotlight, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can really play with those new lights and play with intensity too. So yeah, it gives.
So how many lights can I spawn at once?
3.
Yes,
Yeah.
currently correct. 3 lights up to 2 different modes, spotlight and ambient, as Pauline explained. Also, they all have like loads of different sliders. The most popular one, the hue, so you can tint the light with a certain color that you want to. But there's other things. There's a saturation, luminosity, and some other properties that I don't really completely grasp because that's not my specialty. But they are basically used by photographers apparently to make things look nice.
So our virtual photographers will understand those.
Yeah, more than me, for sure.
Yeah. What else? So something also super cool. We know there was a possibility to spawn nibbles and take some pictures with nibbles, but we expanded that option, didn't we?
So now we can spawn up to 3 NPCs, so that's pretty cool. We have a list of more than 20 NPCs, I believe, and they can take poses. You can place them the way you want, rotate them. So that is pretty cool. Yeah. You can have Johnny, you can have Panam.
Exactly. Those are characters from the base game and from Phantom Liberty.
Yep, absolutely.
And we paid attention to the characters that you take photos the most often. We'll see. I assume that probably some of you will ask for even more characters, but there is a lot already, so I hope you will enjoy it. And yes, and Nibbles is also among them, obviously, because we had Nibbles before there, but now, yes, many more characters.
I mean, one of them is Smasher also, so you can have your revenge in photo mode.
Exactly, and Smasher has some specifically taken cool poses prepared for him. So, things that kind of fit his personality, so you can take some cool shots.
Awesome. But
I cannot wait for all the tweets with #justice for Rebecca. I swear.
It's actually funny, but when we were working on the patch 1.6, I think, we added one thing that no players spotted, which made me really sad. And it's Justice for Rebecca sticker. People didn't realize that because we knew that, what happens to her. I'm not going to spoil the Edgerunners here because maybe someone didn't watch it. But if you wanted to take pictures like that, we thought as designers, I assume that players will think about it and do that. And we added the sticker like that and nobody realized
No, Pavel, I saw people use the sticker. So that's not true.
Okay, well,
it's cool.
Sure. I'm glad that
some people found it.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, just put everything that you have on internet to actually prove Pavel Sasko wrong. Okay? That they found it.
I love to be proven wrong. Yes.
Okay, so we added camera, new lighting. We have new characters that we can spawn. What else is coming to photo mode? Is there anything else, like maybe something for depth of field? Because I know some people asked about it as well.
We're complaining about something.
Yeah, of course, depth of field, that is like one of the very typical things that normally, as a photographer, you are concerned about. So right now you have just that additional option there as well. There's a couple more tweaks that we have done in general to the photo mode. There's a lot of smaller things. I would say maybe one of the bigger things that you'll see probably immediately is just completely reworked UI. That was a major upgrade of that whole mode. And yeah, I guess there's no point for me to explaining it. You will see it, how it looks like. The Virtuos team kind of redone it completely, almost. There are some elements that you will recognize, of course, that used to be there, but now it's much, much better.
I mean, to start with, Cyberpunk photo mode was really, really cool. So by adding these things, we made it. I hope you won't have to use the external tools, but of course, feel free to do that. But we wanted it to be fair, especially for console players who aren't able to download the mods, etc. So once we take a cool picture, a cool screenshot in photo mode, we also added an opportunity to show that to the world, right?
Absolutely.
You Not just on Twitter.
No, in the game.
In the game. You can see it yourself in the gallery because there is a new gallery available in the menu, and you can also display it in your apartment. So you have some smart frames, and you pick a picture, you can zoom in, zoom out, adjust it, and then you have your picture in your apartment, which is pretty nice. Also in Dogtown, in the squatted Dogtown, we didn't forget about that.
Yeah. Precisely. So this is again a new technology they're introducing. This time it's called the smart frames by Kiroshi, and every single apartment has been upgraded, as we talked about, of those frames. Again, some apartments had more space in the walls, so we could add more frames. Some apartments had a bit less. though we try to do it everywhere. So you will find it. Like me personally, I really love going for a date with Panam and then maybe taking a picture with her and then putting that picture in my apartment, So now you can really, and then taking a picture of me with Panam and the picture at the wall. Anyway, so you can really create the layers of storytelling here. But the whole intent here is just to give you more options, to really be in that world and really craft your own story. And you can really decorate that apartment now with so many different things on that smart frame.
Personal thing.
It feels like your home.
Yeah, exactly. And depending which apartment you bought, depending which romance you decided to go with, I guess you can really make it personalized for yourself.
I can already see what Pavel you mentioned, picture of Panam and then another picture of me and Panam, Panamception.
It's going infinitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone will do it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we discussed what we can do with cars to express ourselves. We have new ways of actually showing our art of what we do. But that's not everything. I think the biggest change of expressing yourself is the character creator. We did some tweaks there.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start with what we added there.
We added quite a bunch of assets, more than 100. So now we have new eyes, new makeup, new cyberware, new nails. I did my nails for the occasion. But yeah, and you can find this one in the character customization.
Oh yeah, it's actually the relic one,
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, wanted to show it because obsessed with nails. But yeah, we have a lot of new customization and we're really proud of what we did. So we can't wait to see what you guys do with it. So yeah.
Exactly. And when we were working together with the Virtuos team, we were looking for various ways of how you can build your own character, right? And I remember discussions with our artists from Virtuos about what we want to give our players more and what kind of depth maybe we're missing or what creates additional options for role-playing in our world. And we concluded that there's a couple things. One way is our art styles that we have in the game. So for instance, the faceplates that Pauline mentioned, that was one of the things, it's very, very popular among modders, for instance, to add all of those elements to the V. So right now, actually, as a player, you have 8 new faceplates that you can use, two per each art style. And, my personal favorite is definitely the kitsch one, that you can really make your V looking like a member of the MOX. Right, so that's the thought behind a lot of those updates that Pauline was just talking about, that you can build your character in a way that he or she, V belongs to the certain gang, to the certain group, if you would like to. But there are also corporations that we thought about actually adding. And, Pauline has actually nails with the Relic logo on it. So we basically went over loads of different brands in our game and looked for those that could be appealing for you as a player. And also, it works with our lore. Because in Cyberpunk, a human is a product. You are, in a way, a commodity in that world. Therefore, decorating yourself with, tattoos that are elements of logotypes is something that we'll probably be seeing. It's actually, nowadays you can already see it happen. So if you go to that character customization, you will see loads of different options, nails from various corporations, makeup options, the lipstick, and much more that I can talk about.
Wow. Basically, we doubled the character customizations that we had in the game, so there will be much more options for you right now.
Yeah, to be specific, we had over 200, 212, I believe. Yeah,
in the base
and I think we're adding 112. So we added half more. But it's a significant amount of assets right now.
So, but also to inspire people, we added a cool randomizer in the character customization. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. In the character customization, you can have a button that randomizes your character from plain to punk. You have a scale from 0 to 10, and you can go completely crazy, go completely on 10, and you have all of different assets, and it just gives more liberty, and then you can also lock some features of your face, and then just randomize it and see what it gives to you. So it's
exactly.
So punk would be the most crazy, and plain, of course, would be
very
normal.
Very,
Exactly, and that randomizer is there to just encourage creativity, but also just to encourage like experimentation.
Yeah.
We just want you to, as a player, to look at those assets and think about all of the new Vs that you can make and play the game with. And what I personally love doing is like when I randomize and I find something that I love, like let's say I set my randomizer to level 8, you know, so that's quite intense, you know, it's quite of a punk character. And then it randomizes and finds me a cool, like cool scar. Let's say we added tons of new scars. And one of those that I actually really love is the one, the bullet hole in the center of the forehead. So like when it finds that one, you know, with a bullet hole, I lock it, right? So you can lock it on that randomizer. And then I already have that one locked, then I randomize more, right? And let's say that finds me a cool looking tattoo, you know? For instance, we added 2 new completely custom body tattoos.
Yep.
One of them is like a scavenger-like with like moths and so on. And another one is more like a corporation with like Arasaka logotypes. You have like a spine of almost like a Sandevistan, you know, tattooed on your spine.
Nice,
so
nice.
it's a pretty cool thing. So what I do, I basically like keep randomizing until I find something. I'm like, oh, I quite like this.
Perfect.
I quite like this. And then I keep locking them down until I, you know, get down to the point that I have the character that I love. And I think like one point that we can maybe talk about is eyes.
Yeah.
Because we added 34, I think, is the number.
32, I believe.
Or maybe 32.
Yeah,
something
I
around that.
34, yeah. But like a lot of new pupils, you can have the Rebecca eyes, you can have double eyes, but I won't say too much, we'll see by yourself. But yeah, a lot of new eyes
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in our game, we had the character of the Askrax. And by the way, we can now actually add the Askrax also in a photo mode and take pictures with them. But Askrax had this like crazy looking eyes, right? And we were thinking about, okay, how to give the player some kind of a way to also just make the eyes very specific, because the eyes are incredibly important for our characters, you know, the way we look in the scene and so on. So, and this is where the Virtuous team proposed like those with the split retinas, for instance, you know, it looks really awesome.
Yeah,
so those are probably like one of my favorite, but there's a couple more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we cannot wait for, you know, seeing your creations, new creations, you know, what you experimented with when it comes to the randomizer. But yeah, so I guess we can slowly, you know,
Wrap it
compile
up.
everything.
I mean,
what we talked
okay,
about.
so we are talking about expressing yourself via cars, via your art, via your screenshots, via your look, appearance. Anything else that we can find in the update, or do you want to keep something secret?
So as always, we have added a bunch of things that we won't talk about. You will find them if you look very closely. We are really trying to make sure that the Night City is like as best as we only can make it be. We want to make sure that you finding it exciting, exhilarating, to really be in that world. And there's a bunch of new things that happen in a city, but I won't say more. Those are, as always, secrets that we love adding for our players with pretty much every patch that we have done so far. So we'll see what you discover.
Yeah.
So probably some of them have not been discovered, have they?
Oh,
I mean, they didn't find the, you know, stickers, so.
yes, the sticker hurts. Well, I mean, I know personally about a couple that they haven't been found yet. And, you know, again, maybe someone found them in the solace of their house, you know, and they were
of course, but
and
didn't
they just
share it.
enjoyed it and never shared it. That's, of course, possible. However, I think there is a lot in that game, and we just added even more.
Nice. I mean, I remember like the last secret of The Witcher 3 was found like 8 years after release, so we still have time, guys. Anyway, we've been talking about this part for like 30-40 minutes now, and you know, that's not everything. Like, we have more. Patch notes will be on the website as usual, so you will be able to read everything in detail. But yeah, this is more the biggest changes in the patch 2.2 that we wanted to tell you about, and maybe we can do something cool before we wrap up.
Yeah, so we prepared a small surprise for you guys today.
Oh my God.
this is our board with some
okay.
of the questions that we tried to Google for you. So yeah, maybe let's just start with the
of
first.
course. You know, we were Googling and we're checking what is our community looking for usually.
Oh my God. Okay. Is this gonna hurt a lot, or just a little?
It's cool. It's cool.
We try to be, gentle with you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go with first one. Is Cyberpunk worth it?
Definitely yes.
Definitely yes. Well, I mean, so like for me, it's always a matter of what players think. It's not for us to say, I think, at the end of the day. Is it worth it? It's up to you. Like you can say probably that we're really doing everything we can to show you and convince you that it is. But at the end of the day, you're the final judge, So maybe try it out and tell us.
I mean, we can start by asking our community, is Cyberpunk 2077 worth it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question. Is Johnny Silverhand left-handed?
That's pretty random.
That is maybe a bit random, but it's actually very important because the answer is yes. Actually, John is left-handed, though he has trained his right hand, so he's using it sometimes. You can see it in some scenes that his left hand is his dominant hand. For instance, when he smokes, when he holds his guitar, actually. So there's a lot of moments like that. Also, when Johnny takes over V, as he does that throughout the game, V actually uses left hand sometimes a bit more. So there was an intent to do it like this. Again, this is very subtle. And again, in Cyberpunk 2077, there's a lot of things that are made with an intent that it's a bit subtle and it's just make you feel that you are in that world and it feels very authentic and natural. And until you really deconstruct it into elements, you can maybe sometimes tell exactly why it feels this authentic, but that's the reason, because we pay attention to things like this, to the fact that he actually was left-handed in the lore. And again, 50 years passed when he was in the Shard, so if things changed and happened, he also needs both hands sometimes in the scenes in our game, but definitely left hand is his dominant one.
Okay. We try to, match those questions to what we will be talking about, and that's why Adam Smasher is here.
Okay.
So, is Adam Smasher the strongest?
Oh, it's like one of the favorite questions from our community. I know. Well, so Edgerunners anime did, I think, great job with depicting the might of Adam Smasher. We also, in patch 2.1, upgraded the way he fights. So when he moves around and uses his Sandevistan, you can see that badass trail that he leaves. So he's definitely one that is definitely out there. In 2077, there are moments when in the flashback, in the past, you can see him in the progress when he was yet not that augmented, so his full body wasn't replaced yet. But definitely he's at the very, very top. Now, is he stronger than V or David? It's up to you to decide, I would say. It's pretty difficult to say.
I'd say V is the strongest. Just so you know.
You think he's the strongest?
No, V.
Oh, V?
Yeah, V.
V.
That's what I would say.
Agree.
Yeah.
The strength comes in a lot of forms and shapes.
From within.
Exactly. Okay, so next question. Who is... Alicia, help me.
The best romance in
Oh my
Cyberpunk
God.
2077.
Who's the best romance?
Let's maybe start with Pauline.
Actually, I don't really know. I would say Judy.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
valid choice.
I would say Judy, but they're all good. But Judy would be my favorite, yeah.
Who's the best romance in Cyberpunk? Oh my God.
But they're all good, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard question for me.
Who do you like the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Panam. Yeah, I would probably go with Panam, but honestly, like, I also really like Kerry. Eurodyne, also because like he is one of the characters that I spend a lot of time working on, because like parts of the quest, the concert and others are the ones that I worked on, designed, implemented myself. So because of that, my heart is kind of there. But I really enjoy what we did with Judy. in the game. And you know, like even River Ward and his quest, especially the investigation part, I really dig that. So it's pretty difficult for me, if I'm honest. I guess I would probably pick Panam. Though, me personally, I also love Stout, also because she's my character, and I made, and the Venus in Fierce is my quest, so you can probably tell from the content. So.
Pavel. I didn't know you from that side.
The good thing is the stream is 18 plus. So.
Yes. Sorry for making you pick like your favorite child.
Yeah.
And the last
one
question
is a very important question.
When is Cyberpunk
update coming?
Update coming.
Oh my God.
The update is coming now.
Exactly.
Yes.
So right after the stream, you will be able to go to whichever store you have your game on and just download the update right in like 15 minutes, maybe.
Maybe less.
Exactly, my dear. So enjoy. We have put a lot of work into this. I know that we keep updating this game, and it feels like we cannot stop. But that's exactly what it is. We love it, and we really want you to love it and feel that we really care about it. So it would be awesome if you can just try it out, download it, and tell us what you think. Try new photo mode, try Crystal Code, Twin Tone, Gallery, Smart Frames. Just and tell us what you think.
Yeah, just share your screenshots, share your craziest Vs with the character creation, your craziest car colors. We're very interested in what you create.
Yeah, and then we can maybe, who knows, feature you on our social media channels.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe we still have a surprise or two left for you.
Maybe.
You will see soon enough.
Okay, Pavel, Pauline, thank you for joining us. Today we have a special gift for both of you.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
It's a very special stream. There's so many.
Yes, one of our partners, Madrinas, prepared this awesome coffee for us with a special Cyberpunk shaker, and we have the limited edition for both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, here.
I hope you enjoy it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know what you think.
We'll post on social media.
Exactly.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, and exactly. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to do one tiny thing. A shout out for Virtuos team.
Yeah, I
in
wanted
Paris.
to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much to them. But they're not here today because, they're really rock stars. It's been such a pleasure to work with them. So yeah, a special shout out to them. Thank you for mentioning that.
Of course. And I personally really enjoyed working with Virtuos. They are an amazing partner, a very talented team, and just want to make sure that, they will hear us say it because it's important they feel appreciated.
Thank you so much. It's the same. It's a real pleasure working with you.
I'm sure once our community plays the update, they're gonna appreciate your work as well.
Yeah,
I hope.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's it for today, what we prepared for you. Don't forget the patch is live now, so make sure to go and download, the patch. Let us know what you think.
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we cannot prolong it because you have to go and play the game.